So this is 2016 Mathematics Paper 1. We are going to revise this paper. And this is section 1, 50 marks. And you are told answer all the questions from this section in the spaces provided. Question number 1, we are told without using a calculator, evaluate. This is the instruction that you have been given, that you don't use a calculator or a mathematical table. So this you are being tested whether you know how to use BODMAS. BODMAS stands for bracket of division, multiplication, addition, and subtraction. This is the order of operation. That is, you start with where we have the brackets, you go to off, you go to division, you go to multiplication, you go to addition and subtraction. So we start with the numerator. So we have the bracket. So we are going to add 5 and 3. That is going to give us 8. So 8 we multiply by minus 2. That means we get minus 16. Then we don't have off. We have division. So minus 9 divided by 3, you get minus 3 plus 5. So you divide by. In the denominator, we don't have a bracket. We don't have off. We don't have division. So we go to multiplication. So we multiply minus 3 times minus 5. That will give you positive 15. And you multiply by minus 2 by 4. That will give you minus 8. So this is equals to. The next is addition. So we add minus 3 plus 5, we have minus 16. This will give us plus 2. Divide by 15 plus minus 8 will be 15 minus 8. And that should give you, this is 7. So this is equals to minus 16 plus 2, that will give you minus 14. Divide by 7. And when you divide this, you get it is equals to minus 2. So by doing that, you get yourself 3 marks. 2016, paper 1, question 8, we are told simplify the expression p squared plus 2pq plus q squared all over divided by p cubed, pq squared plus p squared q minus q cubed. So the first one is the numerator is a quadratic expression. It has two unknowns, that is p and q. So we consider q as a constant. So we are supposed to get two numbers such that a plus b should give you the coefficient of p, which is 2q. Then a multiplied by b should give you the constant, which is q squared. And this we can say if we take q and q, q plus q is 2q. q plus times q is q squared. So we can rewrite our expression like this, that is p squared plus pq plus pq plus q squared. This is divided by the numerator. We can factor out what is common there, that is p. We are left with the p squared minus q squared. Then the other one you factor out q. So we have q, we will be left with p squared minus q squared. You close the bracket. From there, we can factor out what is common there. It is p, you put the bracket. So we relate with p plus q. And then this other one we factor out q. So we have q, we have p plus q. So we divide by this other one, we factor out p squared minus q squared. We have, and we will be left at p plus q. So this is equals to, we have p plus q. We have factor out p plus q, close the bracket, and we will be left with p plus q. So you divide by p squared minus q squared. This is p plus q.
which we can say this can be divided, and this is equals to P plus Q. We divide, this is a difference of P, two squares, so it is can be written as P plus Q and P minus Q, which we can now say this can divide with that, you get 1. So your final answer is 1 over P minus Q. So that is how you work out that. You get yourself 3 marks.
Question number 3, we are told the external length, width, and height of an open rectangular tank, a container, are 41 centimeter, 21 centimeter, and 15.5 centimeter, respectively. The thickness of the material making the container is 5 millimeters. If the container has 8 liters of water, calculate the internal height above the water level. So we can make a sketch here. So let's say this is our rectangular tank. So that is our rectangular tank. Sorry for that. Let's do that better. So this is our rectangular tank. So these are the hidden sides, and we are told it contains 8 liters of water. So what we are told that the thickness of the material used to make this tank is 5 millimeter. So we can say this is the length, which is 41 centimeter. The width is 21 centimeter, and the height is 15.5 centimeter. With that, we can get the internal dimension because the thickness of the material used is 5 millimeter. So it means this side is 5 millimeter and this side is 5 millimeter, adding up to 1 centimeter. So it means that that is the internal, and this one, it means that internal length, we subtract 41 minus 1 centimeter, which will give you 40. Internal width is given as 21 minus 1 is equals to 20 centimeter. This means that, we have the internal height, this is equals to 15.5 minus 0.5 centimeter, which will give you 0.5 centimeter is the same as 5 millimeters. So this will give you 15. Why? Because we are only subtracting the bottom, which is 5 millimeter. This means that we can get the volume unoccupied. So we say volume unoccupied is equals to, then it is 40, the internal dimension, multiplied by 20, multiplied by 15. That is the capacity of the tank inside the tank, and it has 8 liters. 8 liters, 1 liter is the same as 1,000 centimeter cube. So this will be 8,000. This is a centimeter cube. So you get this is equals to, this is when you work out that, you get it is equals to 4 centimeter cube. So that is a volume that is volume unoccupied. So the height above water level. So we can say height above water level is equals to, then we can calculate it. We say it is 4,000. You divide by 40, multiply by 20, and that should give you 5 centimeter. So because this is centimeter cube, this is centimeter, this is centimeter, so we'll be left there. So that is the height. That is the height of the internal height above the water level. It is equals to 5 centimeter. So question number 4, we are told the figure below shows a net of a solid. Measurements are in centimeter, so we have the net there. Below is a part of the sketch of the solid whose net is shown above. Complete the sketch of the solid showing the hidden edges with a broken line. So what you do here, you will need to use a ruler. And when you use a ruler, our net, here we have 5, and from here to there is 5. So it means that this side will lie onto this one, and we can put a line there. If you look at this side, we have 3 and 3 here, meaning this side will lie onto this one, and we can put our line there. And the same case applies here. If you the triangular side, when you fold it upward, then this side, all of them will fall onto the sides of the rectangular side. So using a ruler, I just use my hand. You complete like that. So that is our. So this is our side here, which is 5 centimeter. This is 5, and then this is the one that is 3 sides. So this is a triangular side, and you should be able to show the hidden lines with incomplete line. So this means that our figure our solid will be like that when you fold the sides. So this is the net, and this is the solid that will be formed, and that's very easy, and you should be able to get 3 marks very easily. So we go to the next question. In this question, we are told, given that OA is equals to 2i plus 3j and OB is equals to 3i minus 2j, find the magnitude of AB to 1 decimal place. You get yourself 3 marks. So to be able to do this, we'll start by writing OA in terms of column vector. So we replace our I and j. So this will give us 1, 0, and you add to 3, 0, 1, and that should give you 2. That is 2 times 1 is 2. You add 3, you have 2, 3. That is a column vector. You do the same to OB, and you just replace I and j. So our OB will be 3 minus 2. From there we get AB is equals to OB minus OA. So that is equals to, our OB will be 3 minus 2, and our OA is 2, 3. So that should give us 3 minus 2, that will give you 1, minus 2 minus 3, that is minus 5. So you get minus 5 there, close the bracket. The magnitude of AB, we get the magnitude by getting the square root of the squares of our elements here in our column vector. So the square root of 1 squared plus the square root of minus 5 squared. So this will give you the square root of 1 plus 25, which is equals to the square root of 26. The square root of 26, you get it is 5.1 to 1 decimal place, because that's what we are told, to 1 decimal place. So that's how you work out that question.
So in this question, we are told a bus traveling at an average speed of 63 kilometers per hour left the station at 8:15 a.m. A car later left the same station at 9 a.m. and caught up with the bus at 10:45 a.m. Find the average speed of the car. So we can say, since the car started the journey at 8:15, then distance covered is equals to the speed times time, multiplied by the time it is up to 10:45, you minus 8:15, and that should give you 63 multiplied. This is 2.5, and it means the distance covered by the bus is 157.5 kilometers. So speed of the car we say not care but car, we say it is distance over time. So the distance covered by the time the car caught up with the bus is 157.5 kilometers, and you divide by time. It started at 9. This means that this is 1 hour and 3/4, which is 1.75, 1 hour, 1.75 minutes, which is the same as 1.75 hour, and that when you divide, you get it is 90 kilometers per hour. So that was the speed of the car. So in this question, we are told, given that x is an acute angle and cos x degrees is equals 2 root 5 over 5, find without using mathematical tables or calculator tangent of 90 minus x. You get 2 marks. So here we can use a triangle to demonstrate that. So we can draw a triangle like that. So if we say this angle here is 90 minus x, this is a right angle triangle. This means that this angle here, it is x. And if cos x is equals to root 5, 2 root 5 over 5, then normally we say cos x is equals to adjacent. So it means our adjacent is 2 root 5 and our hypotenuse is 5. And therefore, we can get the tangent of 90 minus x, which is this angle, which we normally say it is equals to opposite over adjacent. So we need to look for the adjacent side, and the adjacent side, if we call it x, then it is x is equals to the square root of 5 squared minus 2 root 5 squared. So that means is equals to the root of 25, and this is minus this. 2 squared is 4, root 5 squared is 5. So 4 times 5 is 20. So this is equals to root 5. So it means that the tangent of this angle is opposite of adjacent, which the opposite is 2 root 5 and adjacent is root 5. So we can divide root 5 by root 5. It means that the tangent of 90 minus x is equals to 2, and that's how you work out that. You get yourself 2 marks. 2016 paper 1 question 8. Without using mathematical tables or a calculator, evaluate. Ensure that you don't use mathematical table or calculator, because the examiner will deny you marks, and there is a way they know that you have used a calculator, because here in the application of indices we need to write 27 to the powers of 3, 81 to the powers of 3, 16 to the powers of 2, and then we'll be able to simplify. So 27 is the same as 3 cubed, and you multiply by 2 over 3, you multiply by, now here it is 81 is the same as 3 to power 4, or divide by 16 is 2 to power 4, into bracket 2 power minus a quarter. So this is equals to, we open the bracket, so 3 times 3 will be divided by 3 is 1. So this is 3 to power 2. You multiply by, now this is the same as 3 over 2, then to power 4 multiplied by minus 1 over 4. So once you write like that, and then 4 divided by 4 is 4. So this is equals to 3 to power 2 multiplied by, now this will be 3 to power minus 1 divided by 2 to power minus 1. So this is equals to 3 to power 2, because 3 is inverse, so it is 3 to power 1, and 2 will be, you come up there, so this is to power 2 to power 1 because of the minus, and that you cancel. 3 divided by 3 squared, you get 3. So you multiply 3 times 2, then you should be able to get is equals to 6. So that is how you work it out, and you get yourself 3 marks. So in this question, we are told a minor arc of a circle subtends an angle of 105 degrees at the center of the circle. If the radius of the circle is 8.4 centimeter, find the length of the major arc. You take pi is equals to 22 over 7. So we can say the angle for calculating the length, that is arc length, we say you use the angle theta over 360 pi 2 pi r multiplied by 2 pi r, that is the area of the circumference. So we need to get the angle subtended by the major arc. So we say theta is equals to 360 minus 105 degrees, and that should give you 255 degrees, and therefore we say arc length is equals to 255. You divide by 360 multiply by 2 pi. You are told to use 22 over 7. 22 multiplied by 22 over 7 multiplied by 8.4, and you can simplify. For example, by 7 is 1, by 7 is 1.2, and using your calculator you multiply, you get it is 37.4 centimeters. So that is the length of the major arc, and that's how you do that question. In this question, we are told the gradient of the tangent to the curve y is equals to ax cubed plus bx at the point 1, 1 is minus 5. Calculate the values of a and b. So we can get the gradient of the curve dy over dx is equals to, we differentiate this. This will give us 3a squared, that is ax squared. Then we have plus bx plus b, that is when you differentiate. We are told at at 1, 1, this 3ax squared plus b is equals to minus 5. So at this point, x is 1. So we can replace here and say 3a multiply 1 squared is 1 multiplied by 3a remains the same. Plus b is equals to minus 5. We call that equation 1. Then again, we are told that y is equals to ax cubed plus bx. So at the point 1, 1, we can replace the value of x and the value of y is 1. So we say 1 is equals to x is 1, so 1 cubed is the same as 1, and you multiply by a remains the same, plus b multiplied by 1, that will give you b, and we can rearrange this as a plus b is equals to 1. So let's call that equation 2. So you can see equation 1 and equation 2, they are simultaneous equations, and therefore we can solve them by eliminating one of the unknowns. So plus b is equals to minus 5, and we have a plus b is equals to 1. So we can eliminate b by subtracting. So we will have 3a minus a, that will give us 2a, is equals to minus 5 minus 1, that will give us minus 6. Divide both sides by 2, you get a is minus 3. And since a plus b is equals to 1 in this equation here, then we substitute. So a minus 3 we substitute here, and we take it to the other side. Our b will be a minus 3 changes to positive once you cross the equal sign, and you get your b is equals to 4. So that's how you work out that question. In this question, we are told a line with a gradient minus 3 passes through the points 3k and k8. Find the value of k and hence express the equation of the line in the form ax plus by is equals to c, where a, b, and c are constant. You get 3 marks. So to answer this question, first of all, you are tested whether you know how to grade the get the gradient given 2 points. So we can use this point k8 and 3k to equate to our gradient. So we have 8 minus k, and then we have k minus 3. That should give you minus 3. When you cross multiply, you get 8 minus k is equals to minus 3k. Then we have plus 9. Bring k to this other side. So we have 3k changes to positive, minus k. Take 8 to the other side, it will be 9 minus 8, implying k, 2k is equals to 1, k is equals to 1 over 2. So that is, you get the value of k. Once you get the value of k, you can use it to get the gradient again and an imaginary point. So you use y minus 8, you use this point here, divide by x minus k, should give you the same gradient. Now instead of putting k, since we have already found k, we put a half is equals to minus 3. So we cross multiply, we have y minus 8 is equals to minus 3x, then plus 3 over 2. Let's bring x to this other side. So we have 3x plus 8. We take 8 to the other side. That is 3x plus y. So we take 8 to the other side. We have 8 plus 3 over 2. And now we can write, when you sum up this, then you should get 3x plus y is equals to 19 over 2. Multiply throughout by 2. So you have 6x, and this other one will be plus 2y is equals to 19. And thus we have been managed to express our equation in this format now, where a is 6, b is 2, and c is equals to 19. So that's how you work out that, and you get yourself 3 marks. So this question, you're told point L and M are equidistant from another point K. The bearing of L from K is 330 degrees. The bearing of M from K is 220. Calculate the bearing of M and from L. You get 3 marks. So here you are not supposed to use scale drawing, but to be able to understand the way the question is, it is good to make a sketch. So we'll start by making a compass, the point K, and we say that the bearing of L from K is 330. 330 is just 30 degrees before you get to 360. So this, it means the angle that will be left here is 30 degrees, and that will be the point L. The bearing of M from K is 220. So from this is 180. 180 you add 40 degrees, and you get that is the bearing, and therefore we have that is a bearing of M, and therefore this angle here is it means it is 40 degrees. and we can join these two. Now, because this angle is 90, it means this angle is 60 degrees, and since this angle is 40, it means this angle is 50, so that they both add up to 90, and therefore this angle is 110. 110 you minus from 180, you'll be able to get 70 degrees. So it means this angle here is 35 degrees, and this is 35 degrees. Now, there's something that we need here. We need to make a compass here, because we need to get to find M, the bearing of M from L. So since this angle is 60, it means this angle here is 60, and this angle is 35. So if you add, so this angle is 35, so that is the bearing of L from L, and therefore we say, so here we have 90, that is 90 degrees, you add to 60 degrees, and then you add to 35 degrees, and that should give you 185 degrees. So that is a bearing of M from L, and that's how you go about that. So the sketch should be able to guide you on how to approach that question. In this question, mathematical table should not be used. So what you do, a Kenyan bank buys and sells foreign currencies as shown below. So buying, when a bank is buying, it buys at a lower price, or it is selling, it sells at a higher price. So we are given that Hong Kong dollar buys at 9.74, sells at 9.77. One South African dollar, we have this is buys at 12.03 and sells at 12.11. So what it means is that since we are told that tourists arrive in Kenya with 105,000 Hong Kong dollars and change the whole amount to Kenyan shillings, while in Kenya he spent 43,897 and changed the balance to South Africa rand before leaving for South Africa. Calculate the amount in South Africa rand that she received. So the first thing is the amount he arrived with is 105,000, and that is Hong Kong dollars. So you need to multiply by 9.74 to get the money into Kenyan shillings. Note that the bank bought at the lower price. So when you multiply that, you get this is 102 22 that is 700. That is 1,222,700. So he spent 400,000 and 897. So you are supposed to subtract 1,022,700. You subtract the amount spent, which is 403. That is 897, and that is the amount that you get. Then he changed that, so you can divide that. The buy will buy at a higher price, so it will be 12.11 to convert to South African dollar, and this will give you 618,821. You divide by 12.11, and that should give you 51100. So that is the amount of rands he went to South Africa with. So that's how you work out that question, and you get yourself 3 marks. So here we are told a small cone of height 8 cm is cut off from a bigger cone to leave a frustum of height 16 cm. if the volume of the small cone is 160 centimeter cubed, find the volume of the frustum. So we can make a sketch here to demonstrate. So this is the frustum. The cone was cut off, so you can say that is a frustum. So this is a cone that was cut off to leave a frustum, and we are told that the height of this cone is 8 centimeter, and the height of the big cone is of the frustum is 24, that is 16 centimeter. That is the height of the frustum, and therefore the height of the whole cone is 24. So you can, since we have been given the, so we have we can say a linear scale factor is equals to the height of the whole cone, that is 24, divided by the height of the cone that was removed, and that will give you 3. What we know is about that volume scale factor is equals to linear scale factor cubed. This means this is equals to 23 cubed divided by 1, and that will give you 27. So the volume, you can say that here we can use x volume of the whole cone divided by the volume of the small cone should be equals to 27 divided by 1, implying this is equals to x is equals to 160 multiplied by 27, and that should 4320. So from there we can now be able to get the volume of the frustum. So volume of frustum is equals to volume of the whole cone, which is 4320. You minus the volume of the small cone, and that should give you 4160 centimeter cubed. So that's how you work out that, and you get yourself 3 marks. So in this question, you are told the production of milk in liters of 14 cows on a certain day was recorded as follows. So we have 22, 26, 15, so on up to 28. Determine the mode, 1 mark the median. So the best approach is to arrange this data in ascending order so that you'll be able to get the median, and also you'll be able to identify the mode. So we can start with the 15 as the lowest. I can see 2 of them, so we have 15, 15, then we followed by 16, can see only 1, so 16, followed by 19, we have 1, 2, I can see 2, so we have 19, 19, and then we have 20, 20, there is that one, 2, can say 2, so we have 20 and 20, then we have 21, can see that one, we don't have another one, then 22, 22 we have that one, 2, 3, I can see 3, so 22, 22, 22, those are 3, then we have 26, 26, I can see 1, then we have 27, I can see 27, there is only 1, 27, and finally we have 28. So those are the values in ascending order. So if you want to check the mode, you can see 22 appears most of the time 3 times. So we say mode is equals to, mode is a value that appears most of the time, so mode is equals to 22. Then median are the values or values that at the middle. So since they are 14, we can say 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So we have 20. So we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So we can say it is 20 and 21. So is equals to 20 plus 21 divided by 2, and that should give you 20.5. So that's the way you approach that, and you get yourself 3 marks. This question, we are told given that the log 4 is equals 0.6021 and log 6 is equals to 0.7782, without using mathematical tables or calculator, evaluate a logarithm of 0.096 and you get 3 marks. So this question, we can do it in 2 ways. First, the most important thing is to be able to express 0.096 in terms of log 4 and log 6. So this, you can say the logarithm of 0.096 is the same as the logarithm of 96 divided by 1000. 96 can be written in terms of 4 and 6. So this is a logarithm of 4 times 4 times 6. That is the same as 96. And here is 1000. You multiply by 10 to power minus 3, which is the same as 1 over 1000. Then this can be written as the logarithm of 4 plus the logarithm of 4 plus the logarithm of 6 plus the logarithm of 10 to power minus 3. So once you write that, close don't have a bracket there, then you can say this is 2 implies that 2 log 4 plus log 6. This can be written as minus 3 log 10. So you can say this is 2 multiplied by the logarithm of 4 is 0.6121 plus the logarithm of 6, which is 0.7782, and the logarithm of you minus the logarithm of 10 is 1, so you minus 3, and that will give you, when you subtract, you multiply and subtract, that gives you minus 1.0176. So that's correct. Alternatively, if we start from here, we can say that is the alternative method. Alternatively, we can say that the logarithm of we have the logarithm of 4 plus the logarithm of 4 plus the logarithm of 6, and this will be the logarithm of 1000. That is the logarithm of 1000. We would write it as bar 3.000, and this will give us, when you add this, you should be able to get that when you add, you should be able to get that is when you add 2 multiplied by 0.6021, that should give plus 0.77 that is 82. So this is, and then we have plus bar 3, which is the same as the logarithm of 1 over 1000. So this is going to give you 1.2042. When you add this, you get bar 3.7782, and that should give you, when you add, you get, this is bar 2.9824. So both methods are correct, and you should be able to get the marks for the 2 answers. So you are required to solve this equation. X plus 3 over 24 is equals to 1 over x minus 1. So you cross multiply. So you have x plus 3. We have x minus 1 is equals to 24 times 1 is 24. So you open the bracket, you have x squared. This is plus 3x minus x, and then we have minus 3 is equals to 24. You rearrange your equation, you have x squared. This will be plus 2x, and this is minus 27 is equals to 0. If we try to solve this using the factor method, it's not possible because we can't get two numbers such that when you add them you get 2, when you multiply them you get minus 27. So this we are going to use the formula x is equals to minus 2 plus or minus the square root of 2 squared minus 4. A is 1 and C is minus 27. So we put 27 and we change this to positive. All this is divided by 2 times 1 is equals to 2. So you find this is equals to minus 2 plus or minus. You multiply this and you find you get the square root. It is 10.39. Implying that divide by 2, implying that x is equals to minus 2 plus 10.39 divide by 2 or minus 2 minus 10.39 divide by 2, and this should give you x is equals to 4.20 or minus 6.20, and this is to 2 decimal places. So that's how you work out that question. Part B, we are told the length of a floor of a rectangular hall is 9 meters more than its width. The area of the floor is 136 meters squared. Calculate the perimeter of the wall. So you can make a sketch to guide you on how to go about it. So that is a rectangular floor, and we are told that the length is 9 meters. So if we say the width is x, then it means the length is x plus 9 meters. And because we are given the area, it means that the area is equals to length or width times length, which is x multiplied by x plus 9, and that area is equals to 136. So if we open the bracket, you get x squared plus 9x. We bring 136 to the left hand side, we get 136 is equals to 0. This is a quadratic expression, and we can get two numbers such that when you add them you get 9. That is, when you add them you get 9, and when you multiply them you should get 136 minus 136. So to be able to get that, maybe you can factorize 136. 136, you say it is 2, and that will give you that is 68. Then you would by 2, that will give us 34. You can say by 2 you get 17. We can say 8 multiplied by 17 is 136, and 17 minus 8 is 9. So we can use this to be able to work out that. So we can rewrite our quadratic expression as x squared plus 17x minus 8x. That will give you 9x. Then you minus 136, and that should give you 0. So we factor out what is common in these two. So we'll be left with x plus 17. Then here we factor out minus 8. you'll be left with x plus 17 is equals to 0. Once you do that, then you factor out that is common, so we have x plus 17 that will give you, and we'll be left with x minus 8 is equals to 0. Then here we can say x is equals to minus 17 or 8. And since we are talking of length, length cannot be negative, and therefore it implies that x is equals to 8. Therefore perimeter is equals to 2, 8, and 8 plus 9, that is 17, so that will be plus 17, and when you work out that, you should be able to get 50. So that is how you work out that question, and you get yourself 4 marks. So Roman number part 2, we are told a rectangular carpet is placed on the hall, leaving an area of 64 meters squared. If the length of the carpet is twice the width, determine the width of the carpet. So we can make a sketch here to guide us on how to go about it. So if this is the carpet, then we can say that is our length. Let's call it A. Therefore, it means since the length is twice, it is 2A. Therefore, to get the area, it is 2A multiplied by A is equals to the area of the floor was 136. You minus the area that was left, which is 64. So this will give you 2A squared is equals to, this is 136 minus 64, and that should give you 27. So it is equals to 72. We can divide both sides by 2. So we divide by 2. We'll be able to get A squared is equals to 36. So we can get A is equals to plus or minus the square root of 36. A is equals to plus or minus 6. And since we are talking of length cannot be negative, so A is equals to positive 6. If that is the length, that is the width, then we are determined to determine the length of the carpet, which we have gotten, it is 6. And with that, you get yourself 2 marks. Question number 18, we are told 3 business partners, Asha, Nagira, and Cherop, contributed 60,000 shillings, 85,000 shillings, and 105,000 shillings respectively. They agreed to put 25% of the profit back into business each year. They also agreed to put aside 40% of the remaining profit to cater for taxes and insurance. The rest of the profit would then be shared among the partners in the ratio of their contribution. At the end of the first year, business realized a gross profit of 225,000. Calculate the amount of money Cherop received more than Asha at the end of the first year. So amount put back, we can just say put back. Since it was, they had agreed 25%, so it is 25% of the profit, which is 225,000. And you compute that, you can simplify there, then you use your calculator to compute. You'll be able to get that is 56,250. So that was what was put back into business. Balance, you subtract from 225,000 the profit, you subtract 56,250, which will give you, using your calculator, you get it is 168,750. Now 40% of this is also to be put aside for taxes, so you say 40% of 168,750. Using your calculator, you can simplify here, and use your calculator to compute that, you get it is 67,500 Kenyan shillings. So balance, there was 168, so it is 168, 750, you minus 67,500, and you'll be able to get the balance is 101, 250 using your calculator. So this is what to be divided. The amount they had each contributed, you can add 60,000 plus 85,000 plus 105,000, that should give you 250,000. Use your calculator. Now this is the profit which remained is 101, is to be shared among the three according to their contribution. So we can say Cherop had contributed 105,000. You divide by 200 the total amount contributed, and you multiply by the profit to be shared, which is 101, 250, and when you compute that, you'll be able to get that this is 250. You can simplify there by dividing the zeros, and when you multiply that, you find that Cherop got 42,525. Then we can calculate for Asha. Asha had contributed 60,000. You divide by 250,000. You multiply by amount to be divided, 101, 250. You get Cherop got 24,300. Of course, you can simplify there, and you divide that, you multiply with your calculator. So you'll be able to get, since Asha got 42,525, you minus what Asha got, which is 24,300, and when you compute that, you will be able to get that Asha got 18,225 more. That is Cherop more than Asha. Part B of this question, we are told Nagira invested 25,000 Kenyan shilling into the business at the beginning of the second year. Given that the gross profit at the end of the second year increased in the ratio 10:9, calculate Nagira's share of the profit at the end of the second year. So you say, since Nagira had contributed 85,000, he added 25,000. So the new investment is for Nagira is 110,000. So that is his new share. The profit increased by the ratio of 10:9. So we say they had obtained the profit of 101, 250. You multiply by 10:9, and when you compute that using your calculator, you get it is 112,500. Now it means Nagira's is to share. This is you add 25,000. They had a total of 250 in the first year, so you add 22,000 and 50,000. You add 25,000 to get the new shares. So this will give you 275,000. That is the total share. This means that this Nagira, since Nagira had contributed now 110,000, you divide by the total share, which is 275,000, and you multiply by the new profit, which is 112,500. and this means that Nagira will get 45,000 in the second year. So that is how you work out that, and you get yourself 5 marks. Question number 19, and we are told the frequency table below shows the daily wages paid to casual workers by a certain company. So we have wages in shillings from 100 to 150, 150 to 200, 200 to 300, 300 to 400, 400 to 600. So the first thing that we should note here is that the interval is not the same. That is, from 100 to 50, we have 50. 100 to 200, we have 50. 200 to 300, we have 100. 300 to 400, we have 100. And 400 to 600 is 200. Then we are given the number of workers. We are told in the grid provided, draw a histograph to represent the above information. So a histograph is drawn like a bar chart, but often has bars of an equal width, like we have here. It is the area of the bar that tells us the frequency in the histograph, not the height. So what we are going to do here is, since we are given the number of workers, we are going to prepare a table that is going to help us to draw the histogram, that is. So let me put my table so that we'll be able to fill the table that I'm going to use. So we have the frequency, we have the cross width, and we have the frequency density. The frequency density is a frequency. This is a frequency divided by the cross interval. So you have the frequency we have already been given. So we have 160, we have 120, we have 380, we have 240, and we have 100. From there, then we have the cross width. The first one is 150 minus 100, you get 50. The second one is 50. We have the third one is 100. We have 100, and then we have 200. So we are going to divide F divided by C, that is frequency divided by the cross width. And here we will get 160 divided by 50, that is 3.2. 120 divided by 50, we get 2.4. Then we have 100 divided 380 divided by 100, you get 3.8. This you get it is 2.4, and this you get it is 0.5. So these are the values. We are going to plot the graph of the frequency density against the wages in shillings. So let's get a graph paper and do that. This is the grid that I'm going to use. I've already inserted my table. So we are going to plot the number of workers by the number of by the frequency density, which we have computed. So I'll say this is our 0. So I say this is 1, this is 2, 3, we have 4. I think the highest density is 3.2, 3.8, so 4 is okay. So we have, this is frequency, that is frequency density. This is a density. Then here we are going to plot the number of workers. So we start with 100, we come to 200, we come to 300, 400, 500, 600. I think they don't exceed that, but we can say maybe 700, no problem. This is a number of workers. So from there, we have our table here. So we have we don't have the number of workers. Maybe let me put that classes of the number of people. So 100 to 150, the frequency density is 3.2. So 100 is here. 3.2, we say it is that point. So we will draw a bar graph up to 150 at 3.2. So 150 to 200, it is 2.4. 150 to 200, it is 2.4. So that is where we have our bar. Then from 200 to 300, it is 3.8. So 200, we have 3.8 is there. To 300, to 300 is 3.8. We draw our bar there. Then from 300 to 400, 300 to 400, the frequency density, we have that was 2.4. We have 0.4. So this is where we have 2.4. That is from 300, 2.4 is there, and we put it there. That is, and then from 400 to 600, 400 to 600, then we have it is 0.5. That is 0.5. So this is where we have our 0.5. So that is where we are, the points where we are going to make bars to represent the histogram. So let's do that. So this is our histograms. So you can see that we have plotted the frequency density against the number of workers which we have there. So let's go back to the question and see what is what is required next. Part B, Roman number 1, we are told state the class in which the median wage rise. Now, if you add the number of workers, that is frequency, total up this, that is 160 plus 120 plus 380 plus 240 plus 100, you find that that will give you 1050. So you divide by 2, you'll be able to get 525. So that is where the median wage rise. So the class is 200 to 300. So that's how you answer that, and you get 1 mark. Roman number 2, draw a vertical line in the histogram showing where the median wage rise. So the median wage rise at 525. So let's go back to the grid and do that. So to get the median mark, we are going to take 600, you minus 100, that is the highest data and the lowest data. You'll be able to come up with 500. We divide by 2, you get that is 250. 250. So it means the median lies at 250 and 251. So we get the value 2.250.5. So we get we draw a line here showing the median. Let's put that. So the blue line shows the median, which we can maybe this is the median. Let's go back to the question and see what is expected again. Part C, you are told using the histograph, determine the number of workers who earned 450 shillings or less per day, and you get 3 marks. So that is what is expected. Question number 20. In the diagram below, the coordinates of point A and B are 16 and 15.6 respectively. point N is on OB such that 3ON is equals to 2OB. So we can say 3, that is 3, and that is 2. Line OA is produced such that to L such that OL is equals to 3OA. So we can say that is 1 and that is 2. So that OL is 3OA. Find vector Ln. So we can start by saying 3ON is equals to 2OB. These are vectors. So we can say, and we also know that OL is equals to 3OA. This means that we can have our ON is equals to, we divide both sides by 3, it is 2 over 3 OB. And we also have OL. We have OL here, so we don't need to write that. And we know that from L to N, so Ln is equals to minus OL, and we have minus OL plus ON, which is equals to ON minus OL, and with that we already have ON. ON is equals to 3, that is 2 over 3, 2 over 3 OB, that is ON, minus, we also have OL, which is 3OA, and we can get these vectors. This is equals to our OB is 15, 3, that is 2 over 3. Our OB is 15, 6 minus our 3, and our OA is 1, 6. So this will give us, when you open the bracket, this will be 2 over 3 times 15, that will give us 10, 2 over 3 and multiply by 6, that will give us 4, and we minus. When you multiply 3 times 3, that will be 3, and there we have 18. So 3 minus 3, 10 minus 3 is 7, and 4 minus 18 is minus 14. So that is our Ln that we have been given. So we can simply say that our Ln is equals to 7 minus 14. So that is how you work out that. Let's go to part B. Part B, we are told, given that a point M is on Lmn such that Lm into Mn is equals to 3:4, find the coordinates of M. So here we can say, if we put our M there, the ratio we have been given here is 3:4, so we can write our ratio like that, and therefore we can get our OM is equals to, move from O to M, you can move from O to L, L to M, or ON, you move to NM, and therefore I'm going to choose this option. So it is OL plus LM. So we know that LM is the same as 3OA. Then we have plus our LM is a fraction, so we say it is 3 out of 7 of Ln, and we had worked out Ln in the part A. So this is equals to 3. Our OA is 1, 3, and we have plus, this is 3 over 7, and our Ln is 7 minus 14. So you can work out that. So this is 3 and 9. No, this is 6. Let's correct that. So this is 6. So let's correct that. So that is 6. So when you multiply, this should give you 18. We get 18 here. So plus When you multiply here, 3 over 7 times 7, that will give you 3. And this will give you minus, that will be 2 minus 6. So this is equals to 3 plus 3 is 6, and 18 plus minus 6 is 12, meaning the coordinates of M are 6 and 12, and that is how you work out that to get 2 marks. So part C, Roman number 1, if line OM is produced to T, which I have already done, such that OM is to MT is equal 6:1, find the position vector of T. So we are looking for OT, where we can say, okay, here we have 6:1, therefore OT is the same as 7 over 6 OM, where we had computed our OM, so it is 7 over 6. Our OM is 612, so that will give us, multiply here by 6 times 7 over 6 times 6, that will give you 7, and we multiply that will give you 14. So OT, position vector OT is equals to 7, 14. So that's how you work out that, and you get yourself 1 mark. So Roman number 2, part C, we know that we are to show that LT and B are collinear. Collinear points means they all lie on a straight line. So we can draw a line passing there. And how do we prove that? If we are able to express like LT in terms of LB. So what you do is we can start by saying LT is equals to OT minus OL, where we know OT we found it is 7 and 14, and we minus our OL, which is 3 OA, which is 3 and 18, and we will be able to get 7 minus 3 is 4, and 14 minus 18, that should give us minus 4. So that is LT. Again, we can say TB is equals to, TB is the same as minus OT plus OB. So it is OB minus OT, which is equals to 15, 6. That is our OB. We just invert the coordinates, minus our OT, which is 7, 14, and this you get it is 8, and here it is minus 8. So that is what we get, and we can say this is equals to, now OT we can say it is 2, and this will be 4. We factor out 2, and that is 4. So you can see now this vector is the same as this one, and therefore we can say TB is equals to 2 LT. And this means that they are collinear because we have managed to express one vector, that is LB, in terms of LT as a multiple of LT, and also they share a common point, which is T. So they are collinear. As you can say, they are collinear. And that is how you work out that question. You get 4 marks. Number 21, part A, we are told in the ratio of Juma's and Akinyi's earnings were 5:3. Juma's earnings rose to Kenya shilling 8,400 or 8,400 after an increase of 12%. Calculate the percentage increase in Akinyi's earning, given that the sum of their new earnings is 14,100, and you get yourself 6 marks. So this is a very easy question, and awarded good marks if you only follow the right procedure. So we can say if the new salary of Juma is 8,400 after an increase of 12%, we can get can call it odd earning of Juma. So we can say the new salary is 8,400. This is 112 because of 12% increase. You multiply by 100, you get the odd salary, and using your calculator, you get it is 7,500. So once you get that, since we have been given the ratio of Akinyi, Juma, and Akinyis, so you say if the salary of the odd salary of Juma was 7,500, so you say to let the salary of Akinyi be X, it is equals to 5:3. So you can say that is 7,500 divided by X, that is we write the ratio in fraction form, is equals to 3, implying if you multiply X here, you'll be able to make X a subject. So X is equals to 7,500, you multiply by 3 and you divide by 5, and using your calculator, you'll be able to get that X is equals to 4,500. So that is the Akinyi's salary. So after they were added, the salary came to 14,100. So you can get the new Akinyi salary, new Akinyi salary. It is the total salary, the total of the new salary minus the salary of Juma, which is 8,400. That is the new salary. At using your calculator, you get this is 5,700. So the increase is since she was earning 4,500, so you minus 5,700, you minus 4,500, so you find the increase is actually, using your calculator, it is 1,200. So we can say the percentage increase is equals to the increase divided by the old salary, which is 4,500. We have already computed that, and you multiply by 100. So using your calculator, you can simplify that, and this will give you 26 2/3, which, or you can say it is 26.7%. This is percent. This is to 1 decimal place. So that's how you work out that question, and you get yourself 6 marks. So 21, question number 21, part B, you are told Juma and Akinyi contributed all the new earnings to buy maize at 1,175 Kenyan shillings per bag. The maize was then sold at 1,762.50 cents per bag. The two shared all the money from the sales of their maize in the ratio of their contribution. Calculate the amount that Akinyi got. Now, the total earnings was 14,100. A bag was costing 1,175. So when you divide that, you can get the number of bags they were able to buy with the money they got. So when you divide that, you get that they were able to buy 12 bags of maize. These 12 bags, they sold at 1,762.50 cents. So it means per bag, so you can say, we can calculate profit is equals to, that one bag was sold at 1,762.50 cents. You minus the buying price, which is 11.75, that is the profit per bag, and you multiply by 12 bags, and using a calculator you will be able to get that. They got 7,050 shillings. That is what you get when you compute that. Now we can get the ratio of their contribution. You find that Juma contributed 8,400, and Akinyi contributed 5,700. So when you simplify that, you'll be able to get this is 28 to 19. So it means Akinyi got 19 out of, if you add 28 plus 19, that will give you 47. So this means that Akinyi's profit, we can get, it is 19 divided by 47. That is a total of 28 and 19. That should give you not 45 but 47, and you multiply by the profit they got, which is 7,050, and this would give you, when you work with your calculator, 2,850. So total earning for Akinyi, total earning for Akinyi, Akinyi would be his salary, that is equals to, his salary was 5,700, and then you add the profit that she got from maize selling, which is 2,850, and when you add that, you get, he got Kenyan shillings 8,550. So that is the total amount that Akinyi got after they did that business, and that is how you get 4 marks. And when you total with 6 marks of part A, you get 10. And this is a question you can manage to get whole mark of, that is 10 marks, very easily. This is question number 22 on construction. Using a pair of compass and a ruler, construct Roman number 1, a triangle ABC, in which AB is equals to 5 centimeter, angle BAC is 30 degrees, and angle ABC is equals to 105. A circle that passes through the center of the triangle, the vertices of ABC measure the radius. Number 3, the height of the triangle ABC with AB as a base, measure the height, determine the area of the circle that lies outside the triangle, correct to 2 decimal places. Now at the moment I don't have the what I need to construct this, so for the time being I'll just guide you on how to go about it. Maybe I'll do it later once I get the what I need to use to be able to construct that. So the first thing that you do is you construct a line. You use a ruler and make a line, then use your compass or divider and measure 5 centimeter and label this is your AB. Then here you are being tested whether you know how to construct angle 30. Angle 30, you can take 60 degrees, you divide by 2 is equals to 30 degrees. So how do we construct an angle of 60? You make a mark from A, because this is the angle BAC. You make a mark there using this point, and you make another one. So when you join that point, this is 60 degrees. So you bisect this angle the way we bisect an angle, and that should give you the triangle, that is the line AC. Then you construct angle 105. one of the ways you can do that is by making an angle of 60 and then make an angle of 45. So you can extend that. You can make an angle of 60 here, so that is angle 60. Not in that direction. I think that's we need to make a mark on this side. You make a mark there, so that is the angle of 60. You can extend that line, use this point to construct an angle of 90. So you can make two marks like that, make two arcs here. You come up with angle 90, then you bisect this angle, and you'll be able to get now that is where you'll be able to get the position of C. So that is how you construct that. Part B, a circle passes through the vertices A of triangle ABC, measure the radius. So this, you bisect the line AB, any two lines of the triangle. So you can bisect by making two marks on both sides using a point A and B, and you bisect that line. You also do this the same to this one. You do this, you bisect BC. You come up with a line where the two line meets. That is where the circle, you draw that as a radius, and you'll be able to get the circle that touches the three vertices of a triangle. Part B, part A, Roman 3, the height of ABC with AB. So you extend AB, put your compass here, make two arcs here, and you bisect, you make another arc there, you draw a perpendicular, then you measure that height. So the part B, determine the area of the circle that lies outside the triangle, correct to two decimal places. So what you need to do, since you can take the three sides of a triangle or the angle, calculate the area of the triangle, you have the radius of the circle, calculate the area of the circle, then subtract the area of a triangle from the area of the circle. You'll be able to get the area of the circle that lies outside the triangle, correct to two decimal places. So that's how we do that question. I hope soon I will be able to do it using the correct instrument, so that you can be able to follow. But I hope that is going to assist you to be able to do that question. Question number 23, we are told the equation of a curve is y is equals to 2x cubed plus 3x squared. Part A, find the x-intercept of the curve, and you get 2 marks. So what you need to understand here is that the y-intercept is where the graph cuts the x-axis. So if we say that is our x-axis, y-axis, this is our x-axis, the point where, for example, if we say it is this point where the graph cuts the x-axis, that is our x-intercept. So you can see at that point the value of y is 0. So this means that at x-intercept, y is equals to 0, and therefore we can equate 2x cubed plus 3x squared is equals to 0. So we can get, this is a cubic function equation, so we can factor out x squared, and we'll be left with 2x plus 3 is equals to 0. This means that x is equals to x squared is equals to 0, or 2x plus 3 is equals to 0. We say that because when you multiply two numbers or two factors, you multiply x squared times what is inside the bracket, then one of them must be equals to 0, and therefore this means that x is equals to, you get the square root of both sides, square root of x squared and square root of x 0 is 0, so x is equals to 0, or in this we take 3 to the other side, it becomes minus, and we divide by 2, so it means or x is equals to we say it is minus 3 over 2. So that is where the graph cuts the x-axis, and by doing that you get yourself 2 marks. In Roman number 2, we are told to find the y-intercept. Again, if I may demonstrate, if this is our y and this is our x, the y-intercept is where the graph cuts the y-axis. Let's say it is there. So you can see at that point x is equals to 0. And remember, our equation was, or our function was, y is equals to, we have 2x cubed plus 3x squared. So that was our function. And therefore, at y-intercept, so y-intercept, x is equals to 0. So we substitute here in our function here. So x, you substitute 0 there and 0 there. So you find that 2 multiplied by 0 cubed is 0. So that will give us 0, plus 3 times 0 squared, that will give us 0. So our y is equals to 0. So that is the y-intercept, and you get 1 mark. Part B, Roman number 1, we are told to determine the stationary points of the curve. So remember, our curve was y is equals to 2x cubed plus 3x squared. First of all, we must understand the stationary point is where are the turning points, or if I may put it here, if we put that is our y-axis and this is our x-axis. So if we say our graph looks like this, so this is the turning point. So that is the turning point. And the gradient at that point, if you draw a line touching the turning point, it will be a straight line or parallel to the x-axis. And the gradient of a line parallel to the x-axis is equals to 0. This means we can get the gradient by saying differentiating dy over dx is equals to 2 times 3, that will give us 6x squared. We minus 1 from 3 or index 3, plus we multiply 2 times 3, that will give us 6. We minus 1 from 2, we get 6x. So this means since this is a gradient, it means that at stationary point, dy over dx is equals to 0, and you can see this is a cubic function, so it means it has several terms. Therefore, since our dy is equal to 6x squared plus 6x, so it means that our 6x squared plus 6x is equals to 0. We can factor out 6x. So inside the bracket, we will be left with here we will be left with x, here we will be left with 1 is equals to 0. So it means 6x is equals to 0, or x plus 1 is equals to 0. And with that, we can now say, if you divide here both sides by 6, 0 divided by 6 is 0. So it means our x is equals to 0. Or in this case, we take 1 to the other side, it becomes negative once it crosses the equal sign, and therefore x is equals to minus 1. So these are the stationary points, and therefore when you substitute, you can substitute x is equals to 0 in our function. So x is equals to 0. You find y here, 2 times 0 cubed plus 3 times 0 cubed will give you 0. So y is equals to 0. If you substitute x is equals to 1, this will give us 1 cubed is 1, 1 cubed squared is 1. So this is 2 plus 3. 2 plus 3, and that should give us 5. So y is no, here we substitute minus 1, not 1. So this will be minus 1 cubed is minus 1, times 2 is minus 2. Here x squared is 1 times 3, so that will give us 3. So minus 2 plus 3 is equals to 1. So y is equals to 1. Therefore, our turning point, we can say it is, so here y is equals to 0, and here y is equals to 1. So our turning points are 0, 0, and the other one is we have, when we have minus 1, y is 1. So those are our turning points, and by doing that you get yourself 3 marks. So Roman number 2, we are told for each point in B Roman 1 above, determine whether it is a maximum or a minimum. So what this means is we are required to find out. We already know our function is equals to 2x, that is 2x cubed plus 3x squared. We also know our dy over dx is equals to 6, that is, this is supposed to be cubed, 6x squared plus 6x. So that is our function. So to find whether it is maxima or minima, we have already found our turning points. Our turning points are minus 1 and 1 and 0, 0. So what is expected from you to find whether it is maxima? Maximum is when our turning point is of this nature, that is inside out. Our minima is of this nature. We can combine them. So this is a minima, and that is that point, and this is maxima. So how do we find that? We are going to take one point, that is this point, and you are required to find the gradient. The gradient may be 1 point to the left. So if we say this is our Cartesian plane, and we know our turning point, maybe we can put that one, that is 1, and that is minus 1. That is our x is minus, we know our turning point here. So we find the gradient of at 1 point. So we can take, maybe this is our x, this is maybe we can take minus 2, and we look at the nature of the gradient, whether it is positive or negative. So we can take minus 2. So we come here and say at x is equals to minus 2, we substitute in our gradient here. So this is 6 multiplied by 2 squared, multiplied by, not this is 2, that our minus 2, which is squared, and then we had plus our 6 multiplied by minus 2, 6 multiplied by minus 2, and that will give us, this will be 4, that times 6, that is 24, and this will be minus 12, that is, this will be 6 multiplied by minus 2, that will give us minus 12, and this will give us is equals to 12. So we can say the gradient here is positive, and the nature of the gradient is of this form. When it is negative, the gradient is take that shape. Then we take 1 point, and because our the other turning point is at 0, 0, we can take maybe minus 0.5, minus 0.5. So we substitute in our gradient, and when you do that, you say this is 6 multiplied by, we can use a dot to make it a bit simpler, 0.5. That dot implies multiplication, and that is squared, and you add to 6 multiply by minus 0.5. When you compute this will give you 1.5, and this is will give you 3, that is minus 3. So this is equals to 1.5 minus 3 is equals to minus 3 divided by 2, or minus 1.5. That is negative. So this is negative. Here it is positive. So we have we can now complete and say, so then we have our turning point. The nature of a negative gradient is that looks like that. So what it means is that the nature of this point is maxima. Then we look at the other point. The other turning point is 0, 0 at 0, 0, and we want to look at the nature. We have so here we take at 0, 0 we can take minus 0.5, which we have found that the gradient here, which we have worked out here, the gradient is negative. So at minus 0.5, dy over dx is negative. So the nature of a negative gradient looks like that. That is negative gradient. Then we have the turning point at 0, 0. So the other one is we look at the gradient. Since we are at 0, turning point is at 0, 0. What about when we take 1? So we substitute 1 in our gradient. That will give us 6 multiplied by 1 squared plus 6 multiplied by 1, and that is going to give us 12. So the gradient, so dy over dx is positive, and the nature of the positive gradient is like that. So when the shape is like that, this is minima. So this is minima. So we can say at 0, 0, the gradient is the stationary point is minima, and at 1, 1, this is that point, the gradient is maxima. So that's how you determine whether a point is minima or maxima, and you get yourself 3 marks. That should not take you wrong. It's only that because I'm revising this question, I should just take you maybe 1 minute or 1.5 minutes to determine that. Part C, you are told to sketch the graph, and remember we have said that at minus 1, that is a turning point. At that point, minus 1, 1 is we have said it is maxima, and at 0, 0 you have said it is this is maxima, and this is minima, as we have said in the previous part. So to sketch this, remember, note the word is to sketch. So you are not expected to have a graph and make the exact curve, or it is not provided. If you check from the question, so what you do is you just make a sketch of the graph. So you make a y and x axis. So this is a 0. This is can say this is minus 1, and we can say this is 1. So the turning point, one of the turning point is there, and the other one is at 0, 0. So if you combine this, you'll be able to come with a sketch of that graph. So our graphs look like that, and that is the shape of so what is expected here is just to show the shape of the function, the graph of the function as a sketch, and there you get yourself 2 marks. So that is what is expected from you, and it's a very simple question. See, if you just follow the right procedure, you should be able to score maximum marks, that is 10 marks, and this kind of question would boost your score. Question number 24, part A, we are told on the grid provided, draw a graph of y is equals to a half x squared minus x plus 3 for 0 less than or equals to x less than or equals to 6, and you get yourself 3 marks. So for us to be able to do that, okay, we have our function y is equals to a half x squared minus x plus 3. Because of space, I will not expand my table. I'll just have the values of x and y. But you can do that when you are when you have enough space, so that you eliminate the chances of making an error. So this I just use 2 rows. So this is our x and that is our y. So we have 0, we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and finally we have 6. So you just pick the values of x and you substitute in your function. For example, y is equals to, when x is 0, a half times 0 is 0, and this will be minus 0 plus 3. So it means that our y is 3. When you substitute x is equals to 1, you'll be able to get 2.5. The other one you'll be able to get 3. Then you have 4.5, then you have 7, and you have 10.5, and finally you have 15. So these are the values that you get when you substitute your the values of x in the function. So with that, we come and say this is on our graph, on our grid. We can start with 0, we have 1, we have 2, we have 3, we have 4, we have 5, and we have 6. So that is our x-axis. And y, the highest value of y is 15. So you can say, let's say we have, we can say we can't use 1 unit. So let's say we have, we can have 5, we have 10, and we have 15, we have 20. I think that will give us a good scale. So that is our y-axis. From there we plot the graph. So when x is 0, y is 3. Since here we have 10 units representing 5, so it means 1 unit is represented by 2 small squares. So that is where we have our point. When x is 1, it is 2.5. So this is 1, 2, 2.5, we have our point there. When x is 2, y is 3, so we have 1, 2, 3, that's where we have our value there. Then when x is 3, y is 4.5, so this is where we have 3, 4, 4.5 will be there. Then when x is 4, y is 7, so here it is 5, 6, 7. So you have our point there. Then when x is 5, y is 10.5. So 5, this is 10, 10.5 we have there. Then when x is 6, y is 15. When x is 6, y is 15. So these are the points that are going to guide us to plot the curve of the function y is equals to a half x squared minus x plus 3. So using your free hand, you join these points and you come up with the graph. So part B, you are to calculate the midpoints of for 5 stripe, x is equals to 1 and x is equals to 6, and hence use the mid-ordinate rule to approximate the area under the curve x is equals to 1, x is equals to 6, and the x-axis. So the mid-ordinates, what we do is we read the points which we have here, the mid-ordinate, that is from 1 to 6, and from the graph you'll be able to get from that is from 1.5, the midpoint, that is at 1.5 the midpoint is 2.7, and at 2.5 that is, this is a, that is a first stripe. The second one is at 2.5, the mid ordinate will be 3.7. Then at 3.5 the mid ordinate will be 5.5, and then we have 4.5. We have the mid ordinate is 8.5, and at 5.5 the mid ordinate is 13. So we approximate those values, and therefore with the values we can be able to get, we'll be able to get the area. So the area is using the mid ordinate rule, area is equals to the height is 1, you multiply by the sum of the mid ordinates, that is 2.7 plus 3.7 plus 5.5 plus 8.5 plus 13, and that should give you the area, which is equals to 33.4, and these are square units. So that is how you get the area. From there we go to part C. Assuming the area estimated by integration to be actual area, calculate the percentage error in using the midpoint, the mid ordinate rule. So to get the area using the integration, we are going to integrate the function I have x squared minus x plus 3, and the limits are from 1 to 6. So if you integrate that, you'll be able to get, you integrate this, you'll be able to get, this will be x cubed divided by 6 minus a half, that is minus a half x squared, and then we have plus 3x, you close the bracket, and this, the limits are 1 to 6, and when you compute that, you will be able to get that 3.3 to 1 decimal place. Now to calculate the percentage error, we say that let me use this space here. You say that you subtract the 33.4 minus 33.3, that will give you 0.1. You divide by the actual area which we have obtained by integrating 33.3, and you multiply by 100. And when you compute that, you'll be able to get the percentage error is 0.3%. So that's how you work out that question. I have used a lot of shortcuts because of space, but in an exam paper you have a whole page to do the calculations and show all your work. But that is how you generally go about that question.